Hey everybody, it's me, Liv. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Anything Goes Hop. Today, Courtney was kind enough to sponsor a number of us channels here who are getting really close to that 1,000 mark. We are all super excited. Thank you to everyone who already subscribes, and we look forward to all the future subscribers who are coming to us. Today, I'm going to be showcasing some of those backgrounds that I created in a previous video with the first one is this Altenew set that I created using this stamp set. You'll see the name here. The next is going to be with this Elizabeth Craft die. Now, I am horrible at keeping my bag, so I don't know the name of this die, but I do know it's Elizabeth Craft. And the next is this Sizzix die that I have that I'm going to be using with this particular background. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to all the other participants in this hop as well. So let's get started. For this first card here, I've already trimmed down the background to a 4 1/4 by 5.5 size image. And then I'm going to take out my Altenew inks. I'm going to stamp one of these layered flowers, and I do already have some mask backgrounds that I can use. So I'm trying to create this arrangement type of image. Now I am using this layered stamp, and it's one of the few times that I've used it. I'm still perfecting my whole technique using these layered stamps. But what you do is go ahead and stamp your first image, and then you're going to move on to your second image. Make sure that you mask the area that you don't want to get ink on before you move on to the next one. Now, while I'm getting this background ready, I did want to take the moment to let you guys know that there is going to be a giveaway with this hop. So Kiona was kind enough over at Kiona's The Craft Therapist to be providing a gift certificate. And if 5 of us reach 1,000 subscribers, she will be giving out one $100 gift certificate to a craft store of that person's choice. If we happen to have all 10 of us reach 1,000 subscribers, there's going to be 2 lucky winners of $100 gift certificates. So be sure that you like, commenting, and subscribing to the rest of us here who are on these channels. So as you can see, I went ahead and also used one of the smaller flowers that are in this stamp set, and then I am moving on to one of the leaves. I was keeping it really in the same matching color scheme as was in the dies, which is what my goal was for this. And then they also have these adorable little centers that come with here, so you can really get a lot of depth with these layering stamps if you choose to for your own project to give it a more realistic look. I felt that we needed more color. Can you believe it? Yes, more. So I went ahead and took out my distress ink. This happened to be some spare I had, and just did a little of sprinkling on it. Then I'm going to tape it to the front of my card and add a sentiment from my stash that I have. I like to pop up my sentiments, so I'm going to head and use my foam tape, pop it up, add a couple of sequences here and there just to jazz it up a bit. Now, this was the tricky part for me. I have to admit, my sequence and me don't really get along, so you're going to see me trying a couple of times to really get it down. But I think my art glitter glue finally did the trick for me when it came to getting this to stick down for. So there you go, one card down, and you can see that it really just, the background itself just does so much for it. Next, I'm going to move on to this very bright and vibrant image that I have, and I thought that this would look awesome over some white paper. Now, when I use intricate dies like this, one trick that I like is to use some wax paper underneath. It's probably not new to you guys, but it really helps pick up a lot of the little pieces. It makes it just so much easier to get them all off. So now here comes the least fun part of these large cover dies, is getting all those little pieces out. But it actually didn't take as long because the wax paper, as you see, really does help cling a lot of those there. Now, this die was originally created to create a pocket. That was not the look I was going for, so I just trimmed off the size, used my sticky speck sheet, which helps put glue all over the back, mounted it onto the front of the card here, and then added a sentiment, and I'm done. So you see, it doesn't really have to be complicated, especially when you have so much color. It just takes care of itself. Next up, I'm going to move on to this card. Now, the background here just screamed to me galaxy type theme. So when I saw this die that I had here, I figured this would be just perfect to use. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want my alignment to go before I actually do any type of cutout here. And I am going to actually do this on black cardstock from the front. Once I finish cutting out the impression, you will see that I'm actually using the colored background to fill in the spots that were showing through from the black cardstock. I love the idea of having it negative so it kind of looks like the sky. Since I had some scraps, I decided I'm going to go ahead and actually have a couple of stars in these bright colors popping out on front too, since I wanted a little bit less black showing. So you see I've gone ahead and added a couple of stars here. I took out those die cut pieces and applied them to that sticky sheet that I like to use. I'm going to be adding a few layers in order to give these die cuts some depth as I put them on. So I will trim it off, and I'll do this both for the bigger stars that I cut out as well as for the smaller stars, so that we can get a little bit more variety as we can see some stars on top as well as some stars peeking through. Next up, I'm going to work on the sentiment. I took one of them out of my stash. I went ahead and inked it up with some black ink, put it onto that colored cardstock. Now I'm going to trim it down, give it a little bit of a border with some of the black cardstock that I have left. And I felt like it needed a little bit something more, so I went ahead and gave it just a small little dovetail, and then I'll mount it here onto the card using some foam tape on the back side. Put on the sentiment, and then I'm going to add some white paper so that you can write inside of it as well. So there you have it. There are the 3 cards I created with those backgrounds that I had done in a previous video. So you can see it's just easy to go ahead and make some pre-designed bright colored backgrounds that you can use, and you'll be able to make a lot of really cool cards with them. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to check out all the other participants in the Anything Goes Hop, and thank you guys so much for stopping by. See you soon.